All right, let's settle a huge debate today. We're putting two absolute titans head-to-head, the Honda CR-V and the Toyota RAV4. But look, we're not just going to talk about cup holders and cargo space. We're going deep, under the hood, looking at this whole thing from a mechanic's point of view to find out which one is really the smarter buy for the long haul. Okay, let's get into it. I want to start with just one number, $2,280. That's how much more you'll likely spend over the first 5 years of owning one of these cars compared to the other. We're talking the standard gas models here. Yep, one is definitely cheaper to keep on the road. So, that brings up the big question, doesn't it? It's not just about which one saves you a couple grand over 5 years. It's about which one is going to give you real value and, more importantly, fewer headaches when you plan on keeping it for 10 years or even longer. That's the puzzle we're here to solve. To get that answer, we've got to look way past the price tag on the window. You know, the true cost of a car is a whole mix of things: fuel, insurance, maintenance, and the one giant factor that people always forget, depreciation. Now, take a look at this. What's so interesting here is how consistent it is. The RAV4 just wins in every single category. It's a little cheaper on gas, a little cheaper on insurance, even a little cheaper on maintenance. But look at that depreciation line. Wow. The RAV4 holds its value way better, saving you $1,500 all on its own when it's time to sell. And this chart just puts it all in perspective, doesn't it? When you add it all up, the Toyota RAV4 owner is looking at saving over $2,200 in just the first 5 years. So from a pure dollars and cents perspective, the RAV4 has a really clear lead. But, you know, cost is only one piece of the puzzle. To really get the full picture, we've got to pop the hood. Okay, this is where having a mechanic's eye is absolutely crucial. See, these two SUVs aren't just built a little differently. They represent two totally different ideas about how an engine should work, and understanding that difference is the key to figuring out their reliability in the long run. So Honda went with a smaller 1.5-liter turbocharged engine. Their goal was all about refinement and making it feel zippy and smooth in city traffic. Toyota, they took a different route. They stuck with a bigger 2.5-liter naturally aspirated engine. Their goal wasn't fancy performance, it was about being absolutely bulletproof for the long haul. It's really a classic trade-off. Do you want modern sophistication or old-school toughness? And for anybody wondering what naturally aspirated even means, think of it this way. It's just a simpler engine. It doesn't have a complex turbocharger forcing air in. And the rule in mechanics is pretty simple. Fewer complicated, high-stress moving parts usually means fewer things that can break down the road, especially after 100,000 miles. This is the absolute heart of Toyota's reputation for reliability. So, does that simpler Toyota philosophy actually mean it's more reliable out in the real world? Well, let's see what the folks who work on these cars every single day and the people who actually own them have to say. This quote pretty much says it all. When you go ask the independent mechanics, the people who have to fix these things after the warranty is long gone, they have a clear favorite. For long-term, low-stress ownership, they almost always point to the Toyota. And here's exactly why. That simpler engine just has fewer things that can go wrong compared to a complex turbo system. The RAV4's engine and transmission are famous for easily hitting 200,000 miles without breaking a sweat. And when something eventually does wear out, the repairs are usually simpler and the parts are easy to find. It's the definition of a workhorse. But hey, let's be real. No car is perfect. Some CR-V owners, especially with the earlier turbo models, have worried about oil dilution, which can be a long-term engine problem. They also mention the infotainment system can feel a bit slow, and the engine can feel like it's running out of breath when you really need to accelerate. On the flip side, RAV4 owners complain that the engine is noisy and sounds rough when you push it, and that the transmission can sometimes feel a bit clunky. That's kind of the price you pay for that super simple, durable design. Now, just when you think you've got it all sorted out, the hybrid models come into play and completely flip the script. And this is where it gets really, really interesting, especially for families or anyone who does a lot of city driving. So here's the kicker that a lot of buyers miss. The Honda CR-V Hybrid isn't just a slightly more efficient version of the CR-V. It's actually a quieter, smoother, and quicker vehicle than the standard gas RAV4. That instant power from the electric motors makes city driving so much more pleasant, something the latter, gas-only RAV4, just can't compete with. And it's not just about how it feels to drive. The numbers don't lie. We're talking about saving over $3,000 in fuel over 5 years compared to the gas RAV4. That completely wipes out the RAV4's initial cost advantage. All of a sudden, if you care about your daily comfort and saving at the pump, the CR-V Hybrid looks like an incredible value.
So, after all that, the costs, the engine tech, the hybrid surprise, how do you actually pick one? Well, it really just comes down to being honest about what you really want and need in a car.
Well, let's just boil it all down. It's pretty simple, actually. You should choose the Honda CR-V if your main goal is a comfortable, quiet ride for your daily commute, especially in the city. And if that's you, the hybrid is absolutely the version to get. But you should choose the Toyota RAV4 if your number one top priority is rock-solid, proven reliability for a decade or more, with the lowest possible cost and the smallest chance of big repair bills. It's still the king of long-term value.
So really, it all comes down to this one question you have to ask yourself. Are you buying a car to make tomorrow's commute better, or are you investing in a vehicle you want to be as cheap and dependable as possible 10 years from now? Your answer to that question tells you exactly which one of these amazing SUVs is the right one for you.